Mastering error-proofing strategies. Defects lurk within, crippling operations. What are the most prevalent types of defects or errors that its processes are prone to, and what design modifications can its teams implement to prevent their occurrence and ensure seamless operations within its organization? Error-free excellence, a journey of self-discovery. As I walked into the manufacturing floor, I couldn't help but notice the sense of unease that permeated the air. Production was at an all-time low, and the team's morale was suffering. It didn't take long to identify the root cause. Errors. Defects were piling up, and the team was struggling to keep up with the demand. It was clear that something needed to change, and fast. My first instinct was to dig deep and understand the types of defects that were plaguing the process. I gathered the team around the table and asked them to share their experiences. The stories poured in, from faulty machinery to human error. Each tale was a testament to the complexity of the problem. I listened intently, taking mental notes as the magnitude of the challenge became clear. The first hurdle was to acknowledge that defects were an inevitable part of the process. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of perfection, but the reality is that mistakes happen. Instead of trying to eliminate errors altogether, I decided to focus on designing systems that could detect and correct them in real time. We started by implementing simple yet effective countermeasures. For instance, we introduced a visual inspection system that allowed team members to quickly identify and remove defective products from the production line. This reduced the likelihood of errors making it to the final stage, and as a result, customer complaints declined significantly. Next, we turned our attention to the machinery itself. By incorporating sensors and automation, we could detect potential issues before they caused problems. This not only reduced downtime, but also allowed us to schedule maintenance during off-peak hours, minimizing the impact on production. As the weeks went by, I noticed a marked improvement in the team's morale. They were no longer bogged down by the weight of defects, and were instead empowered to focus on the quality of their work. But I knew that we weren't out of the woods yet. To truly achieve operational excellence, we needed to tackle the root causes of errors, not just their symptoms. This is where the concept of mistake-proofing came into play. By designing processes that made it impossible to make mistakes, we could eliminate errors altogether. For example, we introduced a system of color-coded components that ensured that team members couldn't assemble products incorrectly. It was a small change, but one that had a profound impact on the quality of our output. As the months passed, I witnessed a transformation that went beyond mere statistics. The team was no longer just a collection of individuals. They were a cohesive unit, working towards a common goal. They were proud of their work, and it showed. Defects were no longer a part of the conversation, and the sense of unease that had once pervaded the air was replaced with a sense of confidence and pride. In hindsight, it's clear that our journey towards error-free excellence was not just about processes and systems. It was about cultivating a mindset of accountability and empowerment. By acknowledging that defects were an inevitable part of the process, we were able to move beyond the blame game and focus on finding solutions. As I look back on that journey, I'm reminded of the power of resilience. It would have been easy to give up, to accept that defects were an inherent part of the process. But instead, we chose to push forward, to challenge the status quo, and to strive for something greater. The result was a workplace where individuals could thrive, where quality was paramount, and where excellence was the norm. In the end, our journey towards error-free excellence was not just about eliminating defects. It was about creating a culture of consciousness, where every individual was empowered to make a difference. It was a journey that changed me, and one that I will never forget. To achieve operational excellence, an organization must identify and address the most common types of defects or errors that its processes are prone to, and implement design modifications to prevent their occurrence. This can be achieved by implementing error-proofing strategies that focus on preventing errors from occurring in the first place, rather than trying to detect and correct them after they occur. One of the most prevalent types of defects or errors is human error, which can occur due to a variety of factors such as fatigue, distraction, or lack of training. To prevent human error, organizations can implement design modifications such as simplifying processes and procedures to reduce the likelihood of mistakes, implementing automation and technology to reduce the need for human intervention, providing comprehensive training and education to employees on processes and procedures, implementing quality control checks and balances to detect and correct errors, encouraging a culture of accountability and transparency where employees feel encouraged to report mistakes and near misses. Another type of defect or error is equipment failure, which can occur due to wear and tear, poor maintenance, or design flaws. To prevent equipment failure, organizations can implement design modifications such as regularly scheduling maintenance and inspections to identify and address potential issues, implementing predictive maintenance techniques, such as condition-based monitoring to detect potential failures before they occur, upgrading equipment to more reliable and efficient models, implementing redundancy and backup systems to ensure continuity of operations in the event of equipment failure, implementing quality control procedures to ensure that equipment is properly calibrated and functioning correctly. Design flaws can also lead to defects or errors, and can occur due to a lack of consideration for user needs, poor design principles, or inadequate testing. To prevent design flaws, organizations can implement design modifications such as conducting user research and testing to identify and address potential design flaws, implementing design principles such as simplicity, flexibility, and robustness to ensure that products and processes are easy to use and maintain, using design tools and software to simulate and test designs before implementation, implementing a culture of continuous improvement, where employees are encouraged to identify and suggest improvements to designs and processes, conducting regular design reviews and audits to ensure that designs are meeting user needs and are free from flaws. In addition to these design modifications, organizations can also implement error-proofing strategies, such as poka-yoke, which involves designing processes and products to prevent mistakes from occurring in the first place. This can be achieved through the use of mistake-proofing devices, such as sensors and alarms, that detect and prevent errors from occurring. Other error-proofing strategies include implementing a first-time right approach, where products and services are designed to meet customer needs and requirements, the first time, every time. Implementing a zero-defect approach, where defects and errors are completely eliminated from processes and products. Implementing a fail-safe approach, where processes and products are designed to fail safely and without harm to users or the environment. Implementing a fail-forward approach, where mistakes and failures are seen as opportunities for growth and improvement, rather than as negative events. To ensure seamless operations within its organization, an organization can also implement operational excellence strategies such as implementing a continuous improvement culture, where employees are encouraged to identify and suggest improvements to processes and products. Implementing a lean production system, where waste and inefficiency are eliminated from processes and products. Implementing a total quality management (TQM) approach, where quality is seen as a core business strategy. Implementing a just-in-time (JIT) inventory system, where inventory is minimized and production is aligned with customer demand. Implementing a metrics-based approach, where performance is measured and evaluated using key performance indicators, KPIs. By implementing these design modifications and error-proofing strategies, organizations can prevent defects and errors from occurring and ensure seamless operations within their organization. This can lead to improved quality, reduced costs, and increased customer satisfaction, ultimately resulting in operational excellence.